some tissues or no? It's not his.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you all for attending tonight's Athletic and Activities Award ceremonies. As a former student athlete and former student actor, a collegiate coach, physical education teacher, and current high school coach, marathon runner, and sports fan, I know, like all of you that are sitting here tonight, and those of you in extracurricular activities and watching online, we know that these things can teach us things far beyond the classroom. In the classroom, for example, in a lesson, I may learn that a basketball hoop is 10 feet above the ground, the three-point line is 19.75 feet back from that. A basketball weighs 22 ounces, and I know that if I put that 22-ounce basketball inside a 10-foot hoop from 19.75 feet back, if I'm down by 2 with 1 second left, I can help my team win the game. But to experience that is a whole nother thing. And you can't understand, you can't fathom what that feels like unless you have experienced that. Sports can teach us so far beyond the classroom. We know that perseverance, a continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties and failures, despite opposition, the action or condition or an instance of steadfastness. In fact, in theology classes, you may have heard Hebrews 12, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Yet unless you've been in a game where you've been down, the count is out against you, and you continue to push as hard as you can, or if you're in a race battling 30-mile-per-hour winds as you're running around a track or a cross-country course, unless you're at a soccer game and it's wet and it's raining and you have to keep playing, to experience perseverance by doing is a different thing. High school sports and extracurricular activities are an important part of the high school experience. Learning takes place in all that we do, and God has given you all unique talents to use, and we use those activities and those talents to better the world around us, by bettering our teammates and by bettering ourselves. Because you are here tonight, I trust that you are using God's given gifts well. Tonight we celebrate your effort. Tonight we celebrate accomplishments. Tonight we also celebrate failures and us getting up from those. Celebrate the success of athletics and activities that are being offered, and we celebrate you, those willing to take a risk that's inside yourself, in front of others, to make those around you better. I know that in many times, if you've been asked to do a sport, it takes a lot of courage to stand up and do that. I know this because I've seen you do it. I've seen athletes that maybe weren't comfortable with trying something new. A teammate says, hey, I'd like you to give this a shot. And you know that when you step out on a court, a field, or a track, that the results might not be exactly what you had hoped, that you might not be the best. Just like we can learn that courage is the ability to do something that frightens you, you can face that thing that frightens you and demonstrate courage. Before we say our prayer today, one of the other important things about athletics and activities is the friendships that were formed. One of my best friends that I met was in sports and track and field. He was a young man from Monmouth College. I was a runner at Loras College. Him and I knew each other from the Loras All Sports Camp where we both worked, and we kept in touch after our years of college track had ended. We bonded over the adventures that we would do. He was very interested in the first time I tried canoeing down the Mississippi River, and he stayed in touch with me as he was preparing to bike around the island of Taiwan. His name was Andrew Kieberk, and he died in that endeavor. He took a risk, something that we do each day. He lived his life to the fullest, something that you are doing by stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something bigger. One of the things that I had the opportunity to read at Andrew's funeral was a poem by Linda Ellis called The Dash. And this poem I think I've read here at Marquette at least once before, I think at an 8th grade graduation, so maybe you've heard this before. But I think it fits here tonight. I think it fits with athletes as we think about speed, running fast, and the dash. But I think it also speaks to a much deeper level about the reason why we do what we do, the reason we live like we live, the reason why we participate in what we participate in, and the friendships that we formed. It goes like this. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of his friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of the birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said that what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend the dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left. It can still be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that the special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about you and how you lived your dash? Lord, as we come before you tonight, help us to live our dashes, taking chances, being brave, standing with courage, standing with teammates, appreciating all of the opportunities that we have in front of us, and using those God-given abilities to make our world a better place. Amen. And now I turn the ceremony over to Mr. Storm.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Good evening and welcome to the 2021 Marquette Activities Awards ceremony. My name is Isaac Storm, and I'm your Activities Director and your host for tonight. I am saddened that I cannot see our students and families in person tonight, but we want to honor them and their accomplishments nonetheless. That is how I started last year's program. I was here by myself with 9 coaches because we could only have 10 people here. And last year, I was watching The Last Dance with my best friend Michael, who is here tonight. He was my best friend in quarantine, besides my wife. But boy, am I glad that we are here tonight. So let's get started. To start our program, I invite Jacob Bakey, Juliana Peniston, Grace Tath, and Holly Kramer to their respective tables, as well as our softball coaches and soccer coaches. These are our athletes that are signing on to continue their athletic careers at the next level. Jacob Bakey. Jacob is attending the University of Central Lancashire and will play football for Macclesfield Football Club in England. Juliana Peniston is attending the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, and she will play soccer. Holly Kramer is attending Cornell College and is planning to play softball. Grace Tath is attending Stevens College and will play for a former Marquette coach and prep, Emily Mickels Kingsolver. Our other athletes that are planning to participate in a sport at the collegiate level: Asa Berthel, baseball, University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Emma Callahan, University of Wisconsin-Platteville, track or softball. Carson Mickels, basketball, but is undecided on his school. And Brady Templeton, baseball, who is also undecided on his school. Let's give our athletes a round of applause for continuing their collegiate careers. Thank you. And can my crew please move the tables? And next, we will have our Fine Arts Awards with Mrs. Mauro Tracy, our speech director.
Well, anytime you give the speech coach the microphone, everybody gets nervous, but I promise I'll be brief. This year was an interesting year for speech in Iowa. Many of us were quarantined during rehearsals and even during our contests, so we practiced and we even performed for the judges from our laptops. Our district and our state events were both canceled, but we were given the option of hosting our own. So together with Bellevue Community Schools, we were able to host our own district and state events here in Bellevue for both group and individual seasons. Despite these and many other challenges, this year was a tremendous success for Marquette Catholic. We had 12 students in large group speech in 4 entry categories and 12 individual speech entries. Just to summarize a little bit to make this go a little more quickly, all of our large group speech entries received the highest possible rating at the district event, and therefore they all qualified for state. Those groups were Group Improvisation, Nolan Tracy, Joseph Hager, Ethan DeSoto, and Hannah Litterer, and at state they received an overall 1. For Ensemble Acting, we had 3 different groups. The first one involved Kaylee Coos, Sophie Long, Holly Beechum, and Allison Kettman. The second was Elevator Games involving Mauro Tracy, Nolan Tracy, and Ella Tracy. And yes, I did that on purpose, so when we were quarantined, we could still practice at home. And the third group was Molly Minster, Katie Tritz, and Hannah Litterer. All 3 of those ensemble acting groups received straight 1s at state, the highest rating possible. Moving on to our individual speech, we had those 12 entries at districts, and receiving a rating of 2 at districts was Ethan DeSoto in poetry, Ella Tracy in solo musical theater, and Joseph Hager in prose. Receiving a rating of 1 at districts and qualifying for the state contest was Holly Beechum in poetry, Kaylee Coos in prose, Molly Minster in after dinner speaking. In solo musical theater, we saw Sophie Long and Hannah Litterer. And in acting, we saw Allison Kettman, Sophie Long, Hannah Litterer, and lastly in storytelling was Mauro Tracy. In individual speech, so all of those speakers that spoke at the state event that I just listed, they all received straight 1s, the highest possible rating you can receive at the state event. I don't know that that's ever happened before, so it was quite a feather in their cap. In individual speech, we also had 3 extraordinary performances who were recognized as all-state performers. Receiving their all-state medals tonight are Kaylee Coos, Sophie Long, and Mauro Tracy. If you guys want to come up and get your medals. So in a normal year, these 3 would have traveled out to Iowa State. They would have been able to watch other of the best performers in the state perform and maybe been invited to perform themselves. But because this year was this year, that was canceled as well. As you can see, we've had an extraordinary and exciting year. I am so grateful to each of these students for their resilience and their dedication. It wasn't easy. I will miss these seniors very much. One in particular, Hannah, you know who you are. Thank you for the opportunity to work with each of you. I hope to have many more new speech members in the years to come. Thank you.
Next, we'd like to honor our music and art awards. In music, we have Holly Beechum. She participated at the state piano contest and received a Division II rating. In art, we have Hannah Litterer, who participated in the Tri-Rivers Conference Art Festival. This year, Hannah took second place in mixed media with High Priestess, took second place in acrylic with Little Moonlight, and third place in watercolor with Backyard Window. And you can see her art pieces on the back table. So congratulations, Holly and Hannah, on those.
Okay, moving on to fine arts points. This is something that's a little bit new to me, so excuse me if I stumble. Each year, students who participate in the fine arts earn points for each event. In speech, every contest rating is worth points, as are the parts in plays, musicals, and working stage crew. In music, points are earned for piano and vocal contests, and contests such as honor choir. In art, points are earned for participation in the Conference Art Festival. As students accumulate these points and reach a higher level of performance achievement, they earn letters, pins, and certificates to acknowledge their contribution to fine arts at Marquette. Each level is awarded only once. So, for example, if a student had already earned level 1 last year and their points haven't yet bumped them up to level 2, they won't receive anything tonight. They're still in that level 1 and working their way towards level 2. So just because your student doesn't come up doesn't mean they haven't been participating in fine arts and actually earning more points. At this time, I will recognize each student who has achieved beginning or new levels in the performing arts this year. Level 1, earning at least 120 points, is Joseph Hager with a drama pin, and senior Ellie O'Brien as well with the drama pin. Earning level 2, earning at least 240 points, is sophomore Ella Tracy and a speech pin, and junior Nolan Tracy with a drama pin. Earning level 3, earning at least 360 points, is junior Holly Beechum, and she's also receiving a speech pin. Level 4, earning at least 480 points, is junior Allison Ketman, who's also receiving a speech pin tonight, and senior Hannah Litterer, who's also receiving a speech pin tonight. Last but not least, our level 5, earning at least 600 points, are juniors Kaylee Coos, who is also receiving a speech pin, and Sophie Long, who will also receive a speech pin tonight. And our 2 seniors, Molly Minster, a speech pin, and Mauro Tracy as well, a speech pin.
Next, we'd like to recognize our Outstanding Speech and Drama Awards. Every year, the Outstanding Speech and Drama students are also recognized for their participation and work during their 4 years at Marquette. This award is based on the points they have earned in either drama or speech. This year's Outstanding Speech student is Molly Minster. And this year's Outstanding Drama student is Mauro Tracy. Next, we'd like to recognize our dance team with Coach Mrs. Amy Taff.
Hi, everyone. This year, I think we'll probably hear the same theme. It'll be talking about what an interesting season it was with COVID. The Iowa Dance Association had to come up with new rules for the girls to be able to participate safely in the fall. So a couple of the interesting things we had to do was the dancers had to be 6 feet apart throughout the entire dance, and they could not touch each other. So if you've ever seen a dance, a lot of it is formations and lifts, so it made choreography very interesting. We struggled to get teamed together at first, and then Hannah and Grace recruited a lot of underclassmen to join us. Some of them, it was their first time dancing, but they did a very, very good job. We only had 4 weeks to do choreography for 2 team dances, and we had several students that went in and out of quarantine and had to do a lot of the choreography at home by video. So they were all very dedicated and did a very good job trying to keep up even though they couldn't be at practice. They worked really hard, got to go to Des Moines, which was nice, performed 2 team dances, and then we had 3 solo performers, Hannah, Grace, and Sophie. But the girls were a lot of fun, brought a lot of energy to practice, lots of laughs after a long day of work. I did not know a lot about choreography, but luckily Grace and Hannah choreographed the pom routine, and then Grace did the lyrical routine for us. So a big thank you goes out to the 2 seniors that did all the choreography. But it was a fun season, and I was glad the girls got to perform in Des Moines.
So dancers, as I announce your name, please come up, receive your award, and then stand in front of your crowd here. The dance team received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa State Dance and Drill Team Association for maintaining a 3.5 to 4.0 GPA. They received a Division I rating in Class 1A POM routine at State Dance. They also received a Division I rating in Class 1A Lyrical at State Dance. They are juniors, Allison Kettman, Major Award. Sophie Long, Major Award, and a Division I rating at Solo State. Faith Metz, Major Award. Rachel Rowan, Major Award, and Ireland Searing, Major Award. Seniors, Beatrice Kemp, Major Award. Hannah Litter, Major Award, and a Division I rating at Solo State. And Grace Tath, Major Award, and 7th overall in Class 1 at Solo State. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 dance team. Next, we will recognize our Spirit Club with Coach Mrs. Kim Schrader. Coach Schrader is unable to be here this evening, so I will speak on her behalf. Kim Schrader, the Spirit Club faculty moderator, again, is unable to be here this evening, but she asked me to share the following with you. Hello, everyone. While I can't join you in person to celebrate Marquette and all our extracurricular accomplishments, I join you in spirit and in prayer. While our meetings and events were more limited this year, I had a great group of students who were dedicated to continuing to foster the dynamic civic life and spirit at our school. Spirit Club members are responsible for organizing student helpers at the concession stand for volleyball and basketball games, decorating the school and making posters for homecoming week, planning all pep rallies, and placing locker magnets boasting each student's involvement in different extracurricular activities. I hope that this fall will usher in a school year of normalcy so that we may once again return to our pre-COVID spirit activities. This year would not have been as successful without the total undertaking of my co-presidents, Emma Callahan and Ellie O'Brien, and the many other great leaders on Spirit Club who stepped up to make each event as memorable and COVID-safe as possible. This year, we revamped the recognition for Spirit Club involvement to include major and minor awards in order to give those who are actively involved in Spirit Club the opportunity to earn their letter. Thank you, Emma and Ellie, and all the members of the Spirit Club for the generosity of your time and talents. And see you again next year, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. The Spirit Club is as follows. Freshman, Isaac Brinker, minor award. Aiden Clawson, minor award. Kaden Kettman, minor award. Josie Kinsel, minor award. Corey Kinsel, minor award. Andrew Schmidt, minor award. Bryce Cheerleading, minor award. Cannon Still, minor award. and Katie Tritz, minor award. Sophomores, Ethan DeSoto, major award. Grace Gerhard, major award, and she will receive her letter. Mallory Griffin, minor award. Elise Kilberg, major award. Gavin O'Brien, minor award. Ryder Patzner, minor award. Ella Tracy, major award. And Katerina Weimerskirch, major award, and she will receive her letter. Juniors, Allison Ketman, major award. Kaylee Koos, major award. Sophie Long, major award. Faith Metz, minor award. Seniors, Delaney Banowitz, major award. Emma Callahan, major award, co-president. Avery Clawson, major award. Beatrice Kemp, major award. Ellie O'Brien, major award, co-president. Molly Minster, minor award. And Mauro Tracy, major award. Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate your 2020-2021 Spirit Club. And next we will have cheerleading with coaches Mrs. Angie Long and Mrs. Amy Taff.
Again, as Amy mentioned, for all sports this year, COVID made things really interesting. And for the cheer team, it was especially interesting because cheer is not considered a sport. So at the beginning of the basketball season, when all of the basketball players could have 2 spectators there, the cheerleaders could have no additional spectators. So it made it really challenging for the beginning of the year to have a really small crowd to cheer to. And to hamper that on top, cheerleaders were not allowed to be on the court at any time, so they had to cheer either in the corner 6 feet apart with masks on or on the sideline. So it made it really challenging to try to get the crowd involved, but our cheerleaders did a really great job this year. They were very excited when more of the students and spectators were able to join them, so thank you all for your support of that this season. And we had 2 new seniors that joined us this year. So Molly and Beatrice, we thank you very much for your extra work and your dedication and for learning all of the new stuff this year. And I think apparently we need to try to recruit from the Spirit Club because there are a lot of people in the Spirit Club and we're gonna need some more cheerleaders next year. So I know a lot of you play sports too, play basketball, but we'd love to have additional people on the cheer team. We got great new uniforms that Amy was able to help secure this year. So again, we'd love to have more next year. And thank you very much for the people who made it real and happen this year.
Again, cheerleaders, when we announce your name, please stand at the front and face your crowd. The cheerleaders this year received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Boys Athletic Association for 3.25 to 4.0 GPA. They also received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for a 3.25 to 4.0 GPA. They are juniors Sophie Long, Major Award, Academic All-Conference, and Rachel Rowan, Major Award, Academic All-Conference. Seniors Beatrice Kemp, Major Award, Academic All-Conference, Grace Taff, Major Award, Academic All-Conference, and Molly Minster, Major Award, Academic All-Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 cheerleading squad. At this time, I'd like to thank all the Booster Club members and parents that volunteered at all of our events this year. Our activities could not run without you. You provide uniforms, transportation, and help with all the expenses to run an athletic program, so thank you, Booster Club. At this time, we are going to recognize our junior varsity softball team and Coach Ms. McKenna Mickels. Coach Mickels is not here tonight, so Coach Storm will hand out the awards. The junior varsity softball squad received the Distinguished Academic Award from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for a 3.61 to 4.0 GPA. They are freshmen Josie Kinsel, Corey Kinsel, Megan Kramer, Maya Oliver, and Katie Tritz. Sophomores Elise Kilberg, juniors Holly Beechum and Kaylee Coos. And manager Hannah Cheerleading, who has graduated last year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize your 2020-2021 junior varsity softball team. And athletes going forward, we'll just have every team stay up here and then get a picture at the end. So next we'll have varsity softball with Coach Mrs. Moses Storm, who has a few words to talk about the season.
I think it's so important to celebrate the resilience of our students this year. Although I'd like to still wake up from the nightmare of the pandemic as much as anybody else, this has infiltrated their lives more than we can ever imagine. For softball, we waited and waited to find out if we would even have a season, while many students already gave theirs up for 2020. In a year that started a month late for us, we were lucky to even be able to play. We were given 1 week notice that we would have a season, 1 week to practice, and navigate a laundry list of new and unknown guidelines, and the girls responded as if we hadn't missed a beat. It was crazy, but awesome to have an entire team of players all at practice for the entire practice, and we made a run for it. Unfortunately, like many other teams, we were sidelined for a couple weeks, but the girls handled all the adversity thrown at them so well. I am so proud of their resilience and patience, as we were the first team to figure out what it meant to have to wear masks, socially distance, sanitize our hands just to go rub them in dirt 3 minutes later, spray every ball, bat, and other piece of equipment after every game. Every single challenge, big or small, is worth every effort to coach these girls to have passion and learn the game. And with the new year starting just this week, I think they have a renewed hope and excitement, not just to get to play, but to work together for a common goal. I am blessed to be a part of the softball team, and I look forward to a fun season.
Last year's varsity softball team had an overall record of 8-5 and they were 8-4 in Tri-Rivers Conference. They received the Distinguished Academic Award from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for a 3.25 to 4.0 GPA. They are, for minor awards, freshmen Josie Kinsel, Corey Kinsel, Maya Oliver, and Katie Tritz. Major awards, freshman Megan Kramer, who will also receive her letter. Sophomores, Elise Kilberg, who was first team all-conference. Juniors, Holly Beechum, major award, and Kaylee Coos, major award. Seniors, Delaney Banowitz, major award, all-conference first team, Telegraph Herald, all-area first team, Quad City Times, all-Eastern Iowa team, honorable mention. Emma Callahan, major award, all-conference second team, Telegraph Herald, all-area honorable mention. Beatrice Kemp, major award. Holly Kramer, major award, Telegraph Herald, all-area second team. And Grace Tath, Major Award, All-Conference First Team, Telegraph Herald All-Area First Team, Quad City Times All-Eastern Iowa Team, Honorable Mention. And those graduated last year, Kelsey Gerlach, Major Award, All-Conference First Team, Telegraph Herald All-Area Second Team. Catherine Heimbuck, Major Award. Hallie Kilberg, Major Award, All-Conference Honorable Mention, Academic All-State. Victoria Mickle, Major Award, Academic All-State. And Manager Hannah Seardine, Major Award. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 softball team. Next, we are going to have a combined JV baseball with Coach Mr. Travis Templeton, who is unable to be here tonight, and varsity baseball with Coach Mr. Jacob Oglesby.
All right, so like Isaac said, my name is Jake Oglesby. Something that I feel like is very long overdue is me just thanking the Marquette community first off. You know, just coming into it last year, not really knowing too many faces, and I've been met with nothing but welcoming parents, families, whoever it might be. And that means everything to me from the bottom of my heart, and it lets me do my job the best way that I feel like I can for these kids who, you know, mean a whole lot to me, and I think they know that. With our season last year, it was something that was pretty crazy, I thought, because when you go into a season, there's so much at stake no matter what it is, and then to have that looming, are we going to play, are we not going to play? And I think the one thing that I didn't give our kids enough credit for last year was how well they persevered through that. Every day they made it about baseball, and I don't think there was a single kid that didn't leave it all out there for us. And I think that was just a great reflection of our team, and it definitely set us up to be where we want to be going into this year. We have some great upperclassmen coming back for us, some great underclassmen that we're adding to the team, high energy. Makes me really excited. So I'm so thankful to be here, and I just really look forward to what we're going to accomplish on the field this year.
I think I know where our baseball players get their haircut from. The varsity baseball team last season received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Athletic Association for a 3.25 to 4.0 GPA. They had an overall record of 5-7 with a Tri-Rivers Conference record of 3-4, which earned 8th place. They are 8th graders Isaac Brinker, minor award, Aiden Clawson, major award, and he will receive his letter, Caden Ketman, minor award, Andrew Schmidt, minor award, Cannon Still, major award, and he will receive his letter. Freshman, Ethan DeSolo, minor award, Trevor Klein, minor award, and Evan Scott, minor award. Sophomores, Christian Pruill, major award, first team all-conference, and Zachary Templeton, major award. Juniors, Asa Berthel, major award, second team all-conference. Carson Mickels, major award, all-conference honorable mention. Tristan Fifner, major award. Brady Templeton, major award, first team all-conference. And graduated seniors last year, Matt Brinker, major award, first team all-conference, all-district honorable mention, Telegraph Herald honorable mention. And Nick Hager, major award. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 varsity baseball squad. At this time, I would like to thank our bus drivers and volunteers. Their time commitment allows our athletes to participate in their competitions throughout the season. So thank you to our bus drivers and our line judges, score clock operators. Thank you for making sure our events run smoothly. Next up, we have junior varsity volleyball with coach Mrs. Haley Storm.
Alrighty, hello. I am pregnant and it's hot, so I'm sure my face is beet red. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I wanted to start off by thanking our head coach, Andy Bishop. Thank you for all your dedication, your passionate work towards the betterment of our team. He's just always such a pleasure to work with anytime. I don't think I've ever seen him in a bad mood, ever. He's just really great to be around. And I would like to say that I could get the Kinsel twins down way sooner than he could, which is a big accomplishment. It always feels a little funny to come up and talk about a season that seems so long ago, especially during a year like this. It seems like it was a lifetime ago. And I have a feeling this is going to come up again and again tonight, but the word uncertainty. You know, when we were at the start of our season, we were kind of the guinea pigs for indoor sports during COVID, and there was kind of this fear of, how much time will we have? As coaches, players, parents, we really had no idea what this season was going to look like. There was just no guarantee of anything, and that's scary. Luckily, we were able to finish the season with limited shutdowns. There really were only a few practices when we had everyone there, but whoever could show up did, and they worked hard enough to make up for those who couldn't be with us that day or that week. They knew how badly it felt to be stuck at home and to want nothing more than to be at school or volleyball. This team formed a lot of empathy for one another, and I hope this is an attribute these girls keep with them as they grow. The fact that this season felt so normal when it probably shouldn't have is really just a testament to the team. They have so much passion for sports and what they're involved in. They easily could have blown off any protocols or recommendations we had, but they didn't. They thought about other people before themselves and their actions. I was very impressed with the integrity of our team, as usual. If it wasn't for them, who knows how long the season would have lasted or how different the outcome could have been. And having low numbers really helped our team become one unit. We were working, learning, and growing together and getting a lot of different experiences. And I always say a strong JV program is crucial for a strong varsity program. The younger players were always challenging the more experienced players by pushing them to do their best, giving them solid competition to practice against. And our upperclassmen were constantly guiding the younger players, showing nothing but encouraging words and what great fundamental work ethic looks like. I'm very excited about our future of volleyball at Marquette, as usual, and you really can't get any luckier to have a better co-coach and a better group of girls to spend your time with. Thank you again for a great season.
The junior varsity volleyball team received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Athletic Union for a 3.25 to 4.0 GPA. They are freshmen Josie Kinsel, Corey Kinsel, Megan Kramer, and Katie Tritz. Sophomores Ella Tracy and Elise Kilberg. Junior Sophie Long, and senior Avery Clawson. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 junior varsity volleyball team. And next, we will have varsity volleyball with coach Mr. Andrew Bishop.
Leave that there. Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking all the parents, players, fans, as well as Coach Storm for working so hard this season, sacrificing time and energy just coming up with ways to make this season work and to help us be successful. I'd also like to have a huge shout out to our AD, Mr. Storm, for his tireless efforts navigating the protocols that seemed to vary by day, and for providing guidance and reassurance as the season went along. The 2020 volleyball season was not without its bumps in the roads, as there were multiple games and practices where girls were unable to participate. But I'm incredibly proud of the product that we put out as the season progressed, and I'm incredibly proud of the girls for being willing to just go play wherever I needed them to play, because it very much so varied by day. Some of them played in positions they had never played before this year and thrived. The early tournaments proved an opportunity for us to acclimate some of our younger players to the tempo of varsity volleyball, and by the time the conference season rolled around, we had finally hit our stride. No one, I think, will forget the 5-set win versus Cedar Valley Christian in that tiny gym, playing a tight match and taking a set off conference favorite Prince of Peace at home, as well as beating Midland in a 5-set thriller here at home late in the season. But most of all, I hope that the girls, Coach Storm, and everyone who came to our games could see the fun that our girls were having this year, and the joy that they were able to have just being together right fresh off the summer, and being able to spend that time with each other. It says so much about their genuine care and desire to be volleyball players for Marquette, and for that I am eternally grateful. Thank you, seniors, for your years of dedication to the sport, and underclassmen will be looking for you to step up in a big way next year. Thank you.
The varsity volleyball team received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Girls Union for a 3.25 to 4.0 GPA. Their overall match record was 8 wins with 18 losses, and in Tri-Rivers Conference record of 3-3, which finished 4th. They are minor awards: freshman Katie Tritz, sophomore Ellie Tracy, and major awards: Megan Kramer, freshman Corey Kinsel, major award, who will receive her letter. Josie Kinsel, major award, she will also receive her letter. Sophomores: Elise Kilberg, major award, second team all-conference, Tri-Rivers East, Telegraph Herald all-area third team, academic all-conference. Mallory Griffin, major award, manager. Juniors: Sophie Long, major award, academic all-conference. Seniors: Avery Clawson, major award. Emma Callahan, major award, second team all-conference Tri-Rivers East, Telegraph Herald all-area honorable mention, and academic all-conference. Holly Kramer, major award, honorable mention all-conference Tri-Rivers East, Telegraph Herald all-area honorable mention, and academic all-conference. Molly Minster, major award. Ellie O'Brien, major award, first team all-conference Tri-Rivers East, Telegraph Herald all-area honorable mention, academic all-conference. Ellie broke the school records for kills in a single match with 28, previously held by Blake Banowitz with 21, and season average kills per set with 3.3 kills per set, which was previously 3.2 kills per set, held by Kendra Mueller and Blake Banowitz. And Mauro Tracy, major award, academic all-conference. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 varsity volleyball squad. Next, we have women's and men's cross country with Coach Ms. Olivia Dietzel.
Good evening. My name is Olivia Dietzel, and I am the head men's and women's cross country coach. However, many of my athletes and their parents thought I was a new middle school or high school runner the first time we met. The students like to remind me of that often. It always brings a smile to my face, though, because people usually don't joke around with just random people. From my experience, people tend to joke around with family more than anyone else. If I could describe the Marquette community in just one word, it would be family. I came into this position as a first-time head coach in a new community where I really didn't know anyone. Having been an assistant coach last year at Waller, where I went to high school, I was a little bit nervous about making the transition to a new school and a new community. But thanks to all of you, I instantly felt at home and fell in love with the Marquette community. I cannot thank you enough for welcoming me into your community and making me feel like this is where I belong. I thank the Lord every day for leading me to this opportunity and this wonderful, supportive family. The Marquette Catholic cross country team is a perfect example of living out what it means to be a family. From the first day of practice, I was in awe of the hard work, dedication, and support for each other. They always showed up, rain or shine, ready to tackle whatever workout I had planned for them. But the thing that impressed me the most was their teamwork and their selflessness. They picked each other up when they were down, they celebrated each other's successes, and constantly pushed each other to be the best that they could be as runners and as people. They understood that this isn't an individual sport as most people assume. They know that this is a team sport and that they need each other. And because of that, they grew stronger and faster as a team. I couldn't be more proud to be their coach, and I owe a lot of that to the amazing foundation laid by Inc. As he set me up for success, building a strong legacy of talented, dedicated athletes and a strong team atmosphere. He also took me under his wing from day one, graciously showing me his favorite running routes, where the equipment was, and even stepping in to lead practice when I was out of town racing. So I thank you, Inc. You really helped equip me with the tools and knowledge needed to follow in your footsteps. There's some pretty big shoes to fill, but I will continue to strive to be the best coach I can to carry on your legacy. This season, like many other things of 2020, was a little bit different than what everyone was used to. From wearing masks on the bus and at meets, to the constant fear of not being able to compete, to adjusting to the new training methods of a new coach. Our student athletes handled all of this adversity with grace, courage, and smiles on their faces. Though we were very small in terms of numbers, one thing we didn't lack was heart. These athletes worked hard in the summer and even harder once practice began in the fall. Because of their hard work and dedication, every member of the team achieved at least one career PR, if not several, this season. This is a huge accomplishment, and I am so proud of all of you. You pushed yourselves to new limits while also pushing your teammates to do the same. In most meets, we couldn't race or place as a team, but that didn't change your mentality. You were each other's biggest fans, and that really paid off in those meets when we were fortunate enough to have a full team. I'm looking ahead to next year and excited about potentially having enough runners to field the full men's and women's varsity teams, so make sure you recruit hard. Looking back on the season, I see many successes. In addition to 100% of the team achieving a career PR, we had some individuals place exceptionally well in some of our bigger meets. All three of the women on our team placed in the top 10 at the conference championship meet while fighting cold weather and 20-mile-per-hour winds. In the same meet, many of our men achieved PRs and placed higher than they had previously. We also had two individuals qualify for the state meet, Holly and Kaylee placing 4th and 7th respectively at the district meet in extremely wet, hilly conditions at Fillmore Golf Course. I know you guys loved that race. In addition, we were able to last minute convince a couple of seniors, Beatrice and Delaney, to join us at districts so we could have a full team for the women. It was their first time running, but even with only 2 of the 5 runners having never run, we placed 4th place, only 1 point off from 3rd at districts, and then the men placed 9th at districts. So thank you, Beatrice and Delaney, for having the courage to try something new. It really helped all of us out. And of all the things that the team and individuals achieved this season, the thing I'm most proud of is how every single one of you bought into the training and gave all of yourselves to the sport and to your teammates. This is what made the team more than just a group of individuals, it made it a family. So I'd like to congratulate all of my athletes for the amazing season. You worked so hard, you supported each other, and you found success. I can't wait to see you grow and continue to improve this coming fall. Once again, thank you to all of you. I feel so at home at Marquette, and I'm so thankful that God led me here. I'm so proud to be part of this amazing family. Thank you.
If you want to find Coach Dietzel at a meet, she's the one running in front of all the parents. She's just back and forth, back and forth. This year's women's cross-country team received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Girls Union for a 3.25 to 4.0 team GPA. They placed 4th as a team in the state qualifying meet. They are juniors, Holly Beechum, Major Award, Telegraph Herald All-Area Cross-Country Team Honorable Mention, 2nd place at the Tri-Rivers Conference Championship meet, 4th place at state qualifying meet, individual state qualifier, 23rd place at the Iowa State Championship meet, and academic all-conference. Allison Kettman, Major Award, 7th place at the Tri-Rivers Conference Championship meet, academic all-conference. Kaylee Coos, Major Award, Telegraph Herald All-Area Cross-Country Team Honorable Mention, 6th place at the Tri-Rivers Conference Championship meet, 7th place at state qualifying meet, individual state qualifier, 47th place at the Iowa State Championship meet, and academic all-conference. Seniors, Delaney Banowitz, Minor Award. Beatrice Kemp, Minor Award. And Hannah Litterer, Manager. I'm going to have you stay up here, ladies. The men's team received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Athletic Association for 3.25 to 4.0 GPA. They placed 9th as a team in the state qualifying meet. They are freshman Caden Kettman, Major Award, and he will receive his letter, academic all-conference. Andrew Schmidt, Major Award, and he will receive his letter. Sophomores, Ethan DeSoto, Major Award, academic all-conference. Trevor Klein, Major Award, academic all-conference. Juniors, Joe Hager, Manager. Nolan Tracy, Major Award, academic all-conference. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 women's and men's cross-country teams. Next, we will have the JV girls basketball team with coaches Mrs. Miranda Ernst and Mrs. Courtney Keeter.
Good evening, everyone. I am Miranda Ernst. Thank you all for being here, and rather than touch on all of the uniqueness that was the season, just like every other season, I want to send a particular thank you to the students, to you girls, because resilience is a word that gets brought up a lot in this pandemic. It's been brought up a couple of times tonight, but you guys were so resilient, you were so fun, and really everything, all of our practices, it was always a breath of fresh air. I think all of the adults in this room have probably, if they haven't already, they will be learning something from you all, and we could definitely be taking a page out of your book. I went into the pandemic fresh off of the state tournament, and so the last people I had seen were the girls' basketball team. I worked from home and quarantined, and I came out just in time to see the girls' basketball team again. So thank you guys so much, and just thanks for being so inspirational and for being true leaders to all the other students, the grade school students, the junior high students, and to all the adults.
Just echoing Miranda, I always say this every year, but I have a lot of respect for our girls. There's never a lot of us, and it's really tough, a lot of nights to count quarters and pull this person to play this team and pull this person to play that. And the best thing about our team is we all do it for each other, and we're happy to do it for each other. Just a couple of things that we had to get over this year besides the pandemic. I'm going to talk about besides the pandemic. First of all, trying to decide who I'm going to call Kramer and who I'm going to call Kramer. So that was hard. That was really tough. So we decided on Kramer because she's original Kramer, and Little Kramer. So it's really hard to yell Little Kramer during the game, so we just call her LK. I don't know what's going to happen when her sister comes. You're still going to be LK, I think, but she'll be littler than you. That was my first. Second, trying to tell the Kinsel girls apart. That's a challenge. Please do not change the color of your shoes next year because I do not like trying to figure out which one you are. So color of the shoes, great idea. Thanks, Kelly. Then we had Grace, who was out for quite a bit at the beginning of the year with a thumb injury, which made our numbers even smaller. So, but we got her back, so that was good. So that was just a few of non-COVID related challenges. We had a lot of great upperclassmen. I mean, our group of seniors, they're tough to beat. They're a great group of kids. Mauro Tracy joined us this year. She was an absolute delight. If you don't know Maura, you know Maura, and she is. She helped us a lot on JV, a lot. And I still say to this day, if she would have played 4 years, watch out. She would have been really something. Just the last thing real quick is, I don't think behind the scenes you see a lot, but these girls play more for each other and for us coaches than they ever do for themselves. Towards the middle of the year, I knew that my dad was getting closer to his 300th career win. And about, a couple games before he was there, I told the girls, and I tell you what, they were as happy as they would be for their parent or their sibling or something. They were so excited. And it was, right when their parents were dropping with COVID. And then all of a sudden we were dropping with COVID. And I was getting real nervous because I thought, oh no, when are we going to stop? And the night that it happened, I mean, these girls, there weren't many of them that night because we had a lot out on quarantine, but they were going to win. It didn't matter what it took. They were dead tired, but they were going to win because they wanted to win for him and know what kind of a special night it was. So I thank you, girls. It was an awesome season. I can't wait till next season and practice in the off season.
The junior varsity girls basketball team received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union for a 3.25 to 4.0 GPA. They are freshmen Josie Kinsel, Corey Kinsel, Megan Kramer, Katie Tritz, and Maya Oliver. And sophomores Grace Gerhard and manager Ellie Tracy. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 JV girls basketball team. And next we will have the girls varsity basketball team with coach Mr. Jim Kettman.
Good evening. Reoccurring theme I noticed tonight had something to do with COVID. I don't know how many times we've heard that. I knew that coming into the season we were going to have to deal with that. Unfortunately, I think last summer we were right about in the middle of it, or really getting hit pretty hard. So we weren't able to do anything in the summer as far as open gyms and stuff. So I think that kind of hurt us in the fall, so we got kind of a late start. But one thing I will say, I'm very thankful to Marquette and staff that we were in school at all. I've run into different people, it might be in a grocery store, it might be somewhere else, and they're talking about having to do virtual and everything else. And I said, well, we've been going to school all year long, and they're like, you're kidding. I said, no, it works out really well. They had a good system set up, and they were like, boy, that's really good. And the people were really thrilled to hear that our school was able to go all year long. So you guys should be extremely proud of yourselves as students and staff that we were able to accomplish that. As far as our season goes, we started out kind of rough. We lost our first 6 games. 4 of those were by 6 points or less. And then the other 2 we lost to were to eventual state qualifiers in 2A and 3A. After we got over that little rough patch, we went 7 of our next 8. Then COVID showed up. So we had a little 2-week vacation there, and we ended up finishing the season 8-9 overall and 6-4 in conference play, which I thought was really well considering the start that we had. I was very proud of the girls for hanging in there. Sometimes you're on a little losing streak. I don't have as much patience sometimes as I do ordinarily. You guys know what I mean. You know what I mean. But we stuck together and hung in there, and I thought we had a really successful season. Overall, it was a difficult year with the COVID protocols, but I thought we handled it pretty well. With injuries and COVID, we had to play some underclassmen down. I think Courtney and Miranda had mentioned this. And sometimes you're in your upperclassmen, it's difficult to go down and play JV. But I'm just so proud of our upperclassmen that were able to go down so we could actually field a JV team. And I just want you guys to know, I told you before, but how proud I am of you guys for not complaining, going down, and great enthusiasm. I really appreciate that, because that can be tough at times. Also, I'd like to thank my wife, Nancy, grandchildren, Tate and Paige, for doing stats and video for all our games this year. But we were doing a lot of improvising. We were a little short on managers because of COVID situations, so they filled in admirably, and I might even hire them back. I don't know. Also, I'd like to thank Ella for doing our book for us, and Grace, who was injured quite a bit, but that didn't stop her. She still would step in, and she helped with the book and everything else, so thankful for that also. Lastly, I want to thank our seniors. Leadership, especially on an unusual year like this. Really appreciated the way you guys handled it all year long. Great attitude. I'm sure this is a season for many different reasons we're never going to forget. 20 years from now, you'll look back and tell your kids, yeah, that was COVID season. We went through the COVID season. So not that something to brag about, but it's something you'll definitely remember. I also want to wish our seniors good luck in the future. I'm going to miss the heck out of you guys. Just very proud of you guys for where you played this whole season. And you underclassmen, 4 weeks from today is first open gym. Thank you very much.
The varsity girls basketball team had an overall record of 8-9, and then a Tri-Rivers Conference record of 5-6 in the East. They received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for a 3.25 to 4.0 team GPA. For major awards, we have sophomore Ellie Tracy, manager. Freshman Josie Kinsel, minor award. Corey Kinsel, minor award. Megan Kramer, minor award. Katie Tritz, minor award. And Maya Oliver, minor award. Sophomores Grace Gerhard, minor award. Major awards, seniors, Delaney Banowitz, Travers East First Team, Telegraph Herald All-Area Honorable Mention, and Academic All-Conference. Emma Callahan, Major Award, Academic All-Conference. Beatrice Kemp, Major Award, Travers East Honorable Mention, Academic All-Conference. Holly Kramer, Major Award, Travers East Second Team, Telegraph Herald All-Area Honorable Mention. And Mauro Tracy, Major Award. Juniors, Holly Beechum, Major Award, Academic All-Conference. Kaylee Coos, Major Award, Academic All-Conference. Sophomores, Elise Kilberg, Major Award, Academic All-Conference. And Freshmen, Megan Kramer, Major Award. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 girls varsity basketball team. Next, we'll have the JV boys basketball team with Coach Mr. Isaac Storm. This year was one of my most fun years coaching this team. They challenged me in ways that I didn't think players would challenge me. They were always asking for more information. I've coached at the college level before, and they were asking for that type of information. They just wanted to know more and more about basketball. We had a pretty good year. I think we started off 6-1, 7-1, kind of went a few losses there, but we finished above 500 for my first time in quite a while at the JV level. This year was a difficult year because we didn't have many fans and parents. This is scary, but I know all of your emails by heart. Because I had to send 1,000 of them this winter. And thank you for being patient with us as we went through the pandemic time with our spectators. This year's JV boys basketball team received the Distinguished in Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Athletic Association. They are freshmen Isaac Brinker, Aiden Clawson, Kaden Ketman, Andrew Schmidt, Bryce Cheerleading, and Cannon Still. Sophomores, Ethan DeSoto, Trevor Klein, and Evan Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 JV boys basketball team. And next we'll have the varsity boys basketball with Coach Mr. Joel Cheerleading.
First of all, I personally would like to thank Mr. Kaiser and Mr. Storm for making all the sports happen here at Marquette this year. If you saw Mr. Kaiser running around making phone calls, Mr. Storm, it's amazing that we got to do what we could do. And I personally would like to thank them, and let's have a little applause for them too. As we all know, it was quite a year, and Mr. Ketman and I were talking, and he was talking about how he gets worked up at a game, and sometimes I do too. It was really hard questioning a referee when they had masks and gloves on. All I could do was thank them for being there and, just trying to do things for young people. and to me, that's what this year was all about. I remember one night talking to Mr. Storm and waiting, looking at the door, and here comes Mr. Kaiser in the door. Everybody's head went down. He went over and talked to Mr. Storm, and right away you thought, we're done, and thing. And right away he says, oh no, it's not that big a deal. Well, I skipped a few heartbeats myself, and I'm sure the kids did too, because knowing that maybe we wouldn't get to play. Well, we finished the season, we had a handful of games with everybody there that could play. So we had to mix and match. And, Mr. Storm talks about we used a lot of young players because it just had to be. And I would love to thank the seniors, because those 3 seniors every night came out and gave a really, really good example to the younger people. And so you 3 people can be very proud to get through a season like we had. And for all you boys, and not just boys, but for all people that played athletics, you were winners this year. There is no doubt in my mind. Winning is not always sometimes in the score, but winning is having the right attitude, helping each other, and being a family. And I think this year that was a perfect example of the boys, and not just the boys, but all the sports programs that I saw, even though I couldn't go to a lot of them that I wanted to go to. I also would like to say that, for the younger people, I see that they are not done. They have been working extremely hard. They've got goals in mind in the next couple of years, and the future looks bright for our, Marquette basketball boys team. Hopefully, we can all take our masks off. Hopefully, we can all go to the games. Hopefully, we can all cheer positive. And hopefully, we can give each other 5s and meet the other team at the center floor. I miss all that stuff. And next year, hopefully that will happen again.
The varsity boys basketball team had an overall record of 7-12, and in the Tri-Verse Conference a record of 4-7. They received the Distinguished and Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Athletic Association for a 3.25 to 4.0 team GPA. They are freshmen: Isaac Brinker, minor award; Andrew Schmidt, minor award; Aiden Clawson, major award; Kaden Ketman, major award, and he will receive his letter; academic all-conference; Bryce Seardine, major award, and he will receive his letter; Cannon Still, major award. Sophomores: Ethan DeSoto, minor award; Trevor Klein, minor award; Evan Scott, major award, and he will receive his letter; Junior Nolan Tracy, major award, academic all-conference. Seniors: Asa Berthel, major award, second team all-conference, Telegraph Herald, honorable mention all-area, academic all-conference. Carson Mickels, major award, unanimous first team all-conference, all-district, all-sub-state, second team all-state, Telegraph Herald first team all-area, was selected to the all-star game. It was a 1,000-point score. He received academic all-state and academic all-conference. Tristan Fifner, major award, honorable mention all-conference, Telegraph Herald, honorable mention all-area. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-21 varsity boys basketball team. Next, I want to give a shout out to all of our youth coaches. Without your volunteer time and efforts, our athletes are prepared when they get to the high school level, and we greatly appreciate working with them. Our gyms are always full because of our youth coaches, so thank you. And next, we'll recognize the archery team. The archery team was a state qualifier, and at the state tournament, they finished 23rd. And the archery team is kind of different. They're made up of middle school students as well. So we have sixth grader Logan Ludwig, seventh grader Haley Dunglinger, Amber Kramer, Justin Severson, Brady Severdeen, and Amelia Taylor. Eighth grader Jaden Dunglinger, freshman Aiden Clawson, and Megan Kramer. Sophomores, Ethan DeSoto and Trevor Klein. Juniors, Holly Beechum and Julie McHugh. And seniors, Avery Clawson and Holly Kramer. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020-2021 archery team. At this time, I'd like to thank Kim Moore, Joel Seredine, John Tyson, Kelby Mueller, Carrie Moore, Randy Coos, Jeffrey Kaiser, David Zeckler, Ruth Marshall, and Carol Kettman for keeping my head on straight throughout the year and helping set up for games. These people put in many hours to make sure our student athletes are ready for their seasons, and every detail is taken care of in facility preparation. So thank you for all that you do. Next, we will recognize the girls soccer team with Coach Mr. Chris Meedinger.
Hello, everybody. I am actually astounded that it has made it all the way to myself that nobody has said this yet. There are 2 birthdays in the house tonight. Let's hear it. Happy birthday to Maura and to Mr. Storm. I did ask Mama Tracy if it was okay if I said happy birthday, Maura, so that's okay. By the way, birthday after party at the Storms. Mrs. Storm doesn't know that. First off, I would like to thank Coach Gary Peniston for all the help and support he has given me in the girls' soccer team over the past 3 years. Without his help and insight, the soccer program at Marquette would not be where it is today. Not just in his coaching abilities while at Marquette, but all of the organizing he and many others do to run the fall and spring soccer programs for all of the kids of Bellevue. Without those programs, our high school program would not be as competitive as it is today. So thank you so much, Gary, for all the work that you put in, not just during the soccer season, but year-round. It's almost like I don't talk in front of people. It's been a dynamic soccer season so far. And believe it or not, I think I'm going to break the trend, kind of, sort of. It's almost like because our soccer season last year got canceled because of COVID, things have just come around and just said, play, have fun. And we have been very blessed this year with our soccer season to be able to just play and have fun. Nothing has gotten in our way so far. So we have definitely been playing and having fun. Our record so far is 7-3. with those losses coming from 2 2A teams and 1 ranked 1A team. I'd love to see them again at the end of the season with all of our players. Oh, don't shake your head, no. I would totally want to see them again because I'm sure that we'd come out and surprise them. Every player that steps on the field this year knows that we are out to achieve some lofty goals that we've set for ourselves. And every player has stepped onto the field and played with full heart. As a coach, you can't ask for much more. Every girl is coachable, every girl is selfless, and they care more about the team than they do about their own successes. It's interesting how when you focus on your goals, and achievements come naturally. The girls have been so focused on bettering themselves and making the team better that the numbers are just happening without consequence. What I mean by that is sometimes when an athlete focuses on trying to get more goals or more assists or more saves or more baskets or more blocks or whatever, however it applies to whatever sport you're in, the pressure they put on themselves can make that journey very difficult. Instead, when the focus is on bettering oneself, one's team, and having fun, numbers just happen. So let me tell you about some of the numbers that have just happened already this year. So some individual records, and sorry if I don't know, okay, good. We didn't talk about who's saying what, so I'm going to say them. So individual records already set this year. Julia Peniston, career saves, 316. Most goals in a career, individual, it was 13. Right now we have Julia at 19 and Delaney at 20. Most assists in a career, it was 12, and right now currently Holly Kramer is at 13. Team goals we have already set this year. Most consecutive wins in a row, we are tied at 4, but if we keep going, we can get that 5th one. Least number of goals allowed in a season, it was 20, we are only at 10. Most shutouts in a season, it was 2, we are currently at 4. Most goals in a season for the team, it was 37, we are already at 39. Records that are almost broken, that I know will be broken. Most goals in a season individual was 13. Julia is at 11 this year, and Delaney Banowitz is at 11 this year. Most assists in a season for a team is our record is 25. We are currently at 21. I tell you all this because we have a couple more regular season games yet before we hit our districts. So this year we have 20 girls out for soccer. For 8 of those girls, this will be their last season. Out of those 8, 7 of them were on the founding Marquette girls soccer team 4 years ago. Even though we didn't play last year, I still consider these girls 4-year veterans. Our team would not be the same this year without any one of those 8 seniors. Even though these girls did not get to play last year, the knowledge and experience that they bring to the field is vital to the success we are seeing this year. With Julia and my goodness, Julia and Audrey, it works, yeah. And Ellie and Maura as our seniors in the back line in our defense, the ones who play hard and get no credit and no glory because unfortunately there's no defensive stops. I mean, there's no, I should keep a tally how many times I hear Ellie say, Maura! All this stuff. They are the unsung heroes of the soccer field on the defensive side, on that back line. Our defense has only allowed 10 goals in 10 games, by the way, and that should be an accomplishment in and of itself. Then you throw in Hannah's speed and Maggie's effort in a new and tough wingback position that they are just killing it. We start building possession. Next, you have Holly and Delaney, and then Julia and Audrey again, because, everybody's got to play everywhere, in the midfield, using their heads and maintaining possession and marching down the field. And these are just our seniors. I'd love to talk about the strengths of all of our players this year and what they bring to our game, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Storm is, yeah, he's already tapping his watch. So I better keep going. So to conclude, this year is one of those special years that as a coach you kind of dream of. We have strong leadership throughout the team. It's awesome to see, and you've heard it a million times over tonight, it's awesome to see all of these seniors, just the energy that they bring, the excitement they have, and the leadership, and the patience and guidance they have for their underclassmen. It's just astounding this year. And just putting their own successes aside for the success of the team. And we still have, out of all those records and everything, we still have 3 or 4 regular season games. So here's my plug. Tomorrow night, if you are not going to a track meet, you should come down to Felderman Field and watch both soccer teams play, because it's going to be a gorgeous night again. It's always a great night to play soccer. So thank you all so much.
The girls' soccer team received the Distinguished Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union for 3.25 to 4.0 team GPA. They are Freshmen, Megan Kramer, Major Award. Maya Oliver, Major Award, and she will receive her letter. Sophomores, Kalicia Deshaw, Major Award, and she will receive her letter. Kaylin Deshaw, Major Award, and she will receive her letter. Delaney Dunn, Major Award, and she will receive her letter. Elise Kilberg, Major Award. Odessa Livefried, Major Award, and she will receive her letter. Ella Tracy, Major Award. Juniors, Holly Beechum, Major Award. Sophie Long, Major Award. Rachel Rowan, Major Award. And Ireland Seariding, Major Award. Seniors, Maggie Bailey, Major Award, and she will receive her letter. Delaney Banowitz, Major Award. Holly Kramer, Major Award. Hannah Litter, Major Award. Ellie O'Brien, Major Award. Juliana Peniston, Major Award. Mauro Tracy, Major Award. And Audrey Weddeking, Major Award. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 women's soccer team. I'm gonna hold up my hands in a signal. This is the Batman signal for Marcine Tracy during soccer games. I wanna thank her for being our AT during the soccer games, even though she threw me under the bus when one male student from a different school needed some help with stuff. But thank you, Marcine Tracy, for helping as our AT at the games. And next we have boys soccer with Coach Mr. Gary Peniston.
The boys soccer team is 11 games in their 15-game regular season schedule. Our record stands at 4-7, with 3 of those losses being one-goal decisions. We've been beat decisively 4 times, but we've also won big 4 times. And in those 3 one-goal games, we could have, and the boys would probably say should have, won 2 out of 3 at least. So what does this say about this team? Some might look at those results and say, well, we're underachieving or lacking in focus. I, of course, disagree with that. High school sports is certainly about the results on the field, but how you get there and how you compose yourself speaks volumes too. I'd like to use those 3 one-goal losses as examples of how this team excels. Our second game of the season was at Cascade against a brand new varsity program, and after losing the night before against a tough Wahlert team, we were all focused on getting our first victory. And from the opening whistle, we took it to them, dominating possession and creating many scoring chances. Unfortunately, we could not put one in the back of the net in the first half, and Cascade ended up scoring on a perfectly placed shot on the counterattack. We were doing all the right things, and at halftime, I challenged the team to go even one step further in the second half, and they did. We peppered their goalkeeper with shots, and somehow we did not tie the game. But we knew we left everything on the field, and the boys did not give up, even for a second. After a 6-0 victory over Cedar Valley Christian, our 4th game of the season was against state-ranked Postville. This time, we figured they would win the game of possession, but we also planned to hit hard on the counterattack. After giving up the opening goal, we put together some quality scoring chances and broke through early in the second half to tie the game. At that point, we were feeling it. This would get us to 500 with a victory over a ranked opponent. We played 17 minutes of 1-1 soccer with chances to take that lead and a goalkeeper in defense determined to hold them down. Sadly, it didn't happen. Postville broke through with 13 minutes left to play. We tried mightily to tie it again, but it wasn't in the cards. And once again, though, the boys did not give up, not even for a second. So we split the next 4 games before a trip to Clinton to face a 3A team that we beat 2 years ago. We knew that we could beat them based on the stats, and we were also aware that they would not want to drop 2 in a row to our 1A school. The game was scoreless at the half, but we hadn't figured out their defense yet, and frankly, Clinton had held most of the possession to that point. The rest of the game would become our definition of never giving up. Clinton got the first 2 goals, the second coming with 19 minutes left to play. It was looking like another solid effort that would come up short. Then the pace of play on our attacking end started to pick up, and we scored our first goal with 5 minutes remaining. All right, I thought, moral victory achieved. Little did I know that we would score the tying goal 1 minute later. Clinton was shell-shocked, but they held firm for the last 4 minutes of regulation and 2 10-minute overtime periods. The game went to penalty kicks to decide a winner. We led early, but Clinton ultimately won the game on their 6th penalty kick. Nobody on this team showed any signs of giving up, and that willingness to keep working hard, even in the face of long odds, will help each and every one of these young men going forward. Now I'd like to focus on this year's senior soccer players. Jacob Bakey has been a superb goalkeeper this year. He set the school record for saves in a game in our epic battle against Clinton. He also came up huge for us in the Postville 1-goal loss, allowing us to be in a position to tie the game in the second half. Jacob has an 82.9% save percentage and is second in the state for all classes in total saves. Tyrell Closer is one of 2 senior leaders at forward. He is particularly adept at beating opposing defenders in foot races to the goal and setting up teammates with crosses from the wing. He has a wicked hard shot that is devastating to opposing goalkeepers. Ty is currently our leading goal scorer at 11 and our leader in assists at 6. Julian Nam is also one of 2 senior leaders at forward. He excels at passing and controlling possession, while also being the most accurate shooter on the team, scoring on almost half of his shots on goal, which is pretty exceptional. Julian is the second leading scorer at 10 goals with 4 assists. He also stepped forward to plan preseason workouts for the team, which was greatly appreciated in getting this team ready after our lost 2020 season. Carson Mickels is our senior leader in the midfield. He excels at slowing down the game in possession and then quickening the pace when the right moment appears. Soccer is a game of constant movement, and it is incredibly valuable to have someone who is able to see the passing lanes in those fleeting moments when they emerge. Carson is our third leading scorer at 5 goals and 3 assists. And Tristan Fifner joined the team this year, on loan from the golf team. He was up front with me from the very beginning about the days he would go to golf and the days he was available for soccer. Tristan came to us with a lot of youth soccer experience, and I knew he would be able to use that and a senior year maturity to really help the team. It has been a pleasure to have him on the team. Due to the pandemic, we entered the season with only 5 players ever having stepped foot on a high school soccer field. Nolan Tracy is my lone non-senior who returned to play this year. Nolan, you are ready for the next step as a senior leader next year, and I'm looking forward to it. To my new juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, 13 of you, thank you for sticking it out over your first high school soccer season. I'm really looking forward to your larger roles on the field over the next few years. You've earned the opportunity through your hard work this season. And finally, thank you to Coach Meeninger, not only for the very kind words he had in his speech, but also I'm fortunate to coach with someone who puts so much thoughtfulness, time, and effort into the girls and boys seasons. Thank you for allowing me to bounce ideas off you and giving me constructive feedback. And to the entire team, thank you for your hard work. It has been a pleasure to coach all of you. Let's keep improving each game as we get ready for those sub-state matchups.
The boys soccer team received the Distinguished and Academic Achievement Award from the Iowa High School Athletic Association for a team GPA of 3.25 to 4.0. They are freshman Isaac Brinker, Major Award, and he will receive his letter. Logan Closer, Major Award, and he will receive his letter. Brody Raker, Minor Award. Gavin Rolling, Major Award, and he will receive his letter. Bryce Seereding, Major Award. And Cannon Still, Minor Award. Sophomores, Ethan DeSoto, Major Award. Trevor Klein, Major Award. Gavin O'Brien, Minor Award. Aiden Schmidt, Minor Award. And Evan Scott, Major Award. Juniors, Joseph Hager, Minor Award. Nicholas Sogling, Minor Award. And Nolan Tracy, Major Award. Seniors, Jacob Bakey, Major Award. Tyrell Closer, Major Award. Carson Mickels, Major Award. Jung Ha Nam, Major Award. And Tristan Fifner, Major Award. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 boys soccer team. Next, we will recognize our girls golf team with Coach Mr. Jordan Albertson. Coach Albertson was unable to be here tonight, but he did send some words. He says, 2021 Marquette girls golf has been an army of one, but Beatrice Kemp needs to be applauded for still coming out for golf and then the tremendous drive and work ethic she shows every day on the course. Beatrice has won 5 meets this season, which is a tremendous accomplishment. She has practiced with the boys team most days, which I believe has helped her when it comes to competition day. On a personal note, it has been my honor to coach Beatrice. It is remarkable the personal growth I have seen in her since we last worked together during her sophomore season. This growth, determination, work ethic, and wonderful character she embodies will take her very far in life. I will miss coaching her, but I'm excited to see what her future holds. 3 competitions remain, and I have no doubt she will attack each day with enthusiasm and positive results will ensue. Capri College will be better as Marquette Catholic has been, but because Beatrice Kemp walked through those doors. My days of getting haircuts are long behind me, but I will look forward to sending my daughters to your salon one day. and our lone golfer, senior Beatrice Kemp, Major Award. And next we have our boys golf team with Coach Mr. Nola Cornelius.
Good evening. It's been a fun golf season so far, and we've mentioned earlier that in the spring sports we've kind of gotten through the winter, and it's been a breath of fresh air to be able to be outside and play golf. Even if it's 35 degrees on average with a 25-degree wind chill and you can't feel your hands after the third hole, but it's still been fun because of this group of guys. And with Beatrice, she keeps us in line. But it's been a fun season for a lot of different reasons. Our record doesn't reflect the success we've had because when you play in a meet with 5 teams and you finish third or fourth, then that counts as 1 win and 3 losses. So, and so while we haven't racked up the wins, I would take 0 wins if it means 3 things: that the guys I coach improve, have fun, and play with integrity. And they're always telling me, there's no way that guy scored a 48. And the thing is that I know that my guys are honest about their scores. They play with integrity. So if we go down, at least we're going down the right way. So thank you for that, guys. And we have a lot of fun, too. One thing about coaching golf is getting them to focus. You play 9 or 18 holes, and if you have 1 bad shot, that can snowball and turn into 3 bad holes or 4 bad holes. And pretty soon you got a whole round that you just want to forget, like Valley Oaks, right, guys? And so if you get them to focus and turn that 1 bad hole not into a bunch of bad holes, but turn around and have the next hole be good, or the rest of the round be good, then that's an improvement. But getting them to focus is hard. For instance, yesterday we played conference golf, and somewhere between the 8th and 9th hole, one of my players went missing for a short amount of time, and he found himself in the trees. And he came out of the trees with a broken 7-iron. I don't know why he went into the trees, but he came out with a broken 7-iron. And, you know, he admitted to me later, he just got bored. So he got so bored that 2 or 3 holes later, he decided to use that broken 7-iron to chip. Didn't go well for him, so I think he finally got back on track after that. And he finished with a 92 and 10th for the meet. But get him to focus, but also things like that have happened all season. They have a lot of fun, and they keep me on my toes and my eyes rolling. But it's been a lot of fun. And I think we have had a lot of success. Christian, sorry, Christian, I don't know how many times you've medaled this year. I actually lost track. He's had a great year, medaled several times, won several meets. And Tristan has medaled several times as well and done a great job. But our 3, 4, and 5 guys have picked up the slack too. Nick has done such a great job considering that the last time I coached him in golf was 2 years ago, and he had never swung a club before. Speaking of 7-irons, he broke one in the gym when he learned that day that when you swing the club, you're not supposed to let go of it. 2 years later, he's our 3rd or 4th scorer, and he's consistent, and he's doing a great job. And you can always find Nick on the golf course. And it's not just because he's tall as a tree, but it's because on the entire golf course, he's the only guy in jeans and steel-toed boots. And we have 1 freshman this year, Aiden Clawson, who I'm proud as a coach to say that I've coached him from a slice to a hook. Sometime we'll find that way in the middle. And Daniel Odding has been with me now for 3 years as well. Last year not counting because we lost to COVID. But he's kept plugging away and has improved as much as anybody, and I'm proud of him as well as the rest of the team. And I want to say Mr. Storm thanked our youth coaches earlier, but the thing with golf is we don't have a feeder program. We don't have junior high golf. Our feeder program is the moms and dads and grandpas and grandmas taking their kids out to the course and encouraging them to keep playing. So moms, dads, grandpas and grandmas, we need you, because our one girl is a senior, and I have 3 junior boys out of 5 guys. So we need you. And it is possible because 2 of our 5 players are playing 2 sports right now. They're playing soccer and golf. And I'm willing to work with you, and if it means you'll join us and help us out. With that, I say thank you to the boys for such an awesome season. We're gonna try, and we got 2 more meets left. We're gonna try and pick off a few more teams if I can keep Tristan out of the woods. Thank you.
The boys' golf team members are freshman Aiden Clawson, Major Award. Juniors Daniel Odding, Major Award. Christian Proul, Major Award. And Nicholas Sogling, Major Award. And senior Tristan Fifner, Major Award. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 boys golf team. Next, we will recognize our girls and boys track teams with coaches Mr. Jeffrey Kaiser and Mr. Andrew Bishop.
Before I talk on track and field, I'd like to put on my principal hat for just a second. I'd like to speak on behalf of Teacher Appreciation Week, and you might be wondering why among coaches we would do this, but I hope it's obvious by this point that coaches are certainly teachers, and as Coach Dietzel shared, also family. And parents, I can assure you this to be very true. These coaches see our students and the student athletes in the same light. They oftentimes will eat cold meals after long nights. They sacrifice nights where they could be putting their own children to bed. They celebrate birthdays with us. And they navigate through this pandemic to help students experience sports in a way with limited interruptions. Please, families and student athletes in both sports and in extracurriculars, please join me in thanking our coaches. And also, I would also like to make the quick comment, too, of the coaches' families. Thank you for letting your spouses coach, your significant other coach, and thank you, Kelsey, as well, for letting me continue to coach track and field. Folks, I invite you to get comfortable here real quick. I had a lot to say at Magic of Children. That's nothing compared to what we're about to experience here as we celebrate what track and field is, which began in 1776 BC. We'll start there. Now, there's something really special about the track athlete. When I welcomed everyone here tonight, I talked about the risk that student athletes and actors take when playing a sport or being on stage. But I think track is a very unique sport in a certain way. In most sports, the question of who's the better athlete can always be debated. Who's better at basketball, LeBron or Jordan or Kobe? Do you see the high scorer might not always be the best player, because we also know that defense wins championships. And a player's success can be very dependent on the team around them. Again, how much so, that's debated. But in track, there's nothing to ever hide behind. The fastest runner in that event is always the fastest runner in that event, and there's only one fastest runner in each event at each meet. A stopwatch doesn't lie, and if somebody asks you in track and field, how fast are you? You can give them an exact answer. Hard work is always rewarded, and this always shows. This year I had the opportunity to work with Coach Bishop and Ms. Stickrod in track and field, and I greatly appreciated the opportunity to do so. They did an outstanding job, and it was a pleasure to coach this year's team. I have had the privilege of coaching some amazing young men and young women this year. It has been a blast. Some might say it is certified super, but we had some certified suspicious moments as well. We had a moment this year where we had a lot of cold track meets at the beginning of the season. And so you see students warming up in khakis and even running extra laps to stay warm. Andrew, for doing that. Joe Hager brought a lot of joy to the team when he would be running, giving fingers at the people who would run by and saying hi to the fans, cheering him on. It's been a great year. We also had a lot of successes with other people coming out to the team that maybe never thought about trying track and field, running a 100-meter dash here and there, doing long jump, trying something new. And there's something to be said about that, taking that risk and doing something different. I appreciate all the athletes that practice juggling both soccer and track and field. And we have had some school records that have been broken this year. Emma Callahan broke her own record in the shot put, now by over 2 feet, and currently sits first in the district. Allison Kettman broke Marissa Schrader's record in the 400 hurdles a couple times and has taken that record down by a full 3 seconds, currently seated first in the district. Molly Menster broke her own school record in the 100-meter dash, going under 14 seconds. And our shuttle hurdle relay team placed first in the meet that they broke their school record in. They were the only team running, but they still finished first. Allison Kettman, Kaylee Koos, Elise Kilberg, and Hannah Litterer for their shuttle hurdle record. We plan on breaking some more records tomorrow. I'll turn it over to Coach Bishop for a few words as well.
And a few words it shall be. This is my first year coaching track, and I can't say enough about how much I've been able to learn, both from Mr. Kaiser and then also from our track athletes. They're so passionate about improving their craft, about getting better, that if that means they have to sit there and find new drills, if it means reaching out and pushing themselves and each other to the next level, and then just listening to us for encouragement and advice along the way, they're willing to take those extra steps. They've helped me incredibly learn more and more about track as we've been able to go through this year. I'm incredibly proud that Andrew has learned the correct number of laps and has shaved minutes off his time from his first race. But then also just very proud about the incredible view of watching students achieve personal records, to not just worry about winning or losing the race, but to shave time off and recognize that they had their own victories and that it's not always about that medal at the end, it's about that personal victory inside. So that's incredible to be able to watch these athletes this year.
The members of the girls' track team are sophomores Mallory Griffin, Major Award, and Elise Kilberg, Major Award. Juniors Hallie Beechum, Major Award, Allison Kettman, Major Award, and Kaylee Koos, Major Award. And seniors Emma Callahan, Major Award, Hannah Litterer, Major Award, and Molly Minster, Major Award. The members of the boys' track team are freshmen Andrew Schmidt, Major Award, juniors Joseph Hager, Minor Award, and Nolan Tracy, Minor Award, and senior Carson Mickels, Minor Award. And junior Christian Proul. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 girls and boys track teams. as Mr. Kaiser stated before, but I think it should be said again, I want to thank our coaches at this time for everything that they do for our athletes, the extra hours, the long trips, and the family sacrifices they make to help our athletes. Your efforts are greatly appreciated, so thank you. At this time, we would like to announce our special awards. The E. Wayne Cooley Award is presented to a graduating female student in recognition of her outstanding accomplishments and fulfilling the criteria of achieving at least a 3.75 GPA and an ACT score of 25 or higher, and achieving and mastering the criteria necessary to be among the elite of the Iowa girl. She reflects discipline, perseverance, character, superior athletic skill, leadership, academic achievement, and citizenship. Congratulations to this year's Marquette Catholic recipient, Ellie O'Brien. The Bernie Saga Award is presented to the graduating student who exemplifies a patriotic spirit with strong religious and moral convictions, living and professing the qualities of honesty, integrity, and sportsmanship, believing that both games and life should be conducted by the rules. Congratulations to Marquette Catholic's 2021 Bernie Saga Award winner, Carson Mickels. The Marine Corps Distinguished Athlete Awards. They are awarded to a deserving senior boy and girl that has wholeheartedly spent a career as an unsung varsity athlete. This award serves as an incentive to those who may be eligible for this award in the future years. The award winners are recognized as role models who are courageous, poised, and self-confident leaders. Congratulations to this year's Marine Corps Distinguished Athletes, Beatrice Kemp and Asa Berthel. At this time, I would like to recognize all the parents who have had their youngest child as a senior this year. Chris and Luann Anderson, please stand if you're here. John and Debbie Banowitz, Leonard and Jenny Berthel, Brett and Claudine Ginsler, Travis and Barb Kemp, Jamie and Tammy Mickels, Mike and Julie Minster, Gary and Betty Kilberg, Travis and Christy Fifner, and Ratha and Amy Tath. Thank you for all the sacrifices you have made over the years. Marquette greatly appreciates your dedication and commitment to the success of our athletes and programs, so thank you. As we conclude, I want to thank everyone for attending tonight's long activities awards. I also want to thank our assistant AD, my wife, Haley Storm. She has a lot to do with the background of this award ceremony, so thank you, Haley. Marquette had a great year, and we look forward to an even better one next year. Thank you again. We will see you again in person next year. And as always, go Big Red. Thank you. Well, I had them on the paper, did I?
Yeah, they might have stood up. I might have just seen it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I had them on the list. I don't know if I said them.
Actually, again,
If they get mad, I'll just say sorry.
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
They probably did stand up. I just was looking around at the parents and I probably caught them in there.
Yes.